Hello, Tim, Amy, Matt Macri. Welcome to our podcast. We talk all things sports, and we always go off topic. Off topic with Tim and Matt. All right, so what's new and exciting? You want to do a little PSA to start the show?
Rumble in the Rockies all week on Canada West TV. We'll have some footage for the next show, but Wade Bjorge's going up. He's going to do a broadcast of a football tournament that showcases young players
high
in
school
Alberta,
community.
high school community in Alberta. In a dome, they're going to have multiple games on every day this week. I think it starts Tuesday. I'll get more details for the end of the show. Keep you posted.
CanadaWest.tv, I believe, and VBNSports.com will be covering it.
Yes.
So you won't be able to see it online. And it's Red Deer?
Red Deer. Yeah. Dome and Red Deer.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's Alberta International Selects is presenting the Rumble
International
in the Rockies.
They paid some kid from Idaho to come up and take a snap. We're international.
Yeah. Well, you know, the funny thing is, though, is you look at the BCFC, and they're getting a lot of guys from around the world.
Really?
Yeah, they had a couple guys from the UK last year. And they got, so they got people coming in that are interested to play internationally in Canadian football.
Yeah.
So Canadian football is a lot of fun. It's a little bit different than the NFL, but difference is not always bad.
Well, I mean, it's you can credit the NFL going to like London and Frankfurt and all that kind of stuff, like games. I'm like, wow, this is actually kind of exciting. And if you want to get into football, I mean, if you never really played before, you're not going to go to Texas or South Florida.
No.
Like you're going to get creamed. So coming to it's a bit of a, I hate to say it, a bit of a softer landing.
Yeah.
You can develop brand new skills. And it sort of begs the question. I mean, most of these kids play rugby or rugger. Like, can they transfer over? Getting off topic. Kelsey brothers. They have no stupid question. Do rugby players make good football players? And there's the odd example, but they having played both, they said no, they don't, which I find kind of interesting because there's the scrum and they throw the player out to the winger, I guess, and he takes off. Like, why wouldn't that player make a good tailback?
I think the athletic skills are transferable amongst all sports.
Yeah, of course.
Right? I mean, except hockey because you only want to skate. But the other skills in there, the soft skills are pretty much transferable too, right? So the work ethic, the athleticism,
the drive,
the effort level to drive, they're all transferable, right? And then you've got to work on the intricacies of each sport.
Yeah.
Right? I think one of the things with rugby and the difference between rugby and football is football, you're very padded up.
Yeah.
Right? So it's very easy to come through a body.
Right.
Because you got pads, he's got pads.
Yeah.
Rugby, you don't.
Yeah.
So when you tackle, you're trying not to kill each other.
Yeah.
Right? Because the hit's going to hurt you just as much as the other guy too. So it's kind of a pull-up thing. I think with work, a rugby player could transfer to football really quick.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Right.
Like a football player's got to learn to pull back.
Right.
Right. Whereas a rugby player's got to attack a bit more.
Right.
Now, that being said, I don't know if you watch the rugby, but those guys are insane. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty intense, man.
They hit pretty hard for not having any pads on.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of sports, the skills are transferable. I say to the kids when I was coaching and whatnot, play as many sports as you can.
Yeah.
Just because your parents put you in the sport they thought would be good for you doesn't mean it's going to be your favorite.
Sure.
Right? Go check out as many as you can.
Right.
But learn those different skills.
Yeah.
And very transferable skills in every sport.
The one thing I hate is some kid playing one sport exclusively. Hockey, 365 days of the year. Football, basketball. Like, come on, man. Like, mix it up. Like,
you'd like to see that, but you take those kids at school, will play all the sports at school.
Yeah.
But when they leave school and they want to be a hockey player, they love hockey, they're rated at hockey, they don't want to do anything else.
Oh no, but I'm talking like when they're 6 years old.
Yeah.
There's 6-year-olds in Toronto in the Metro Hockey Division, and they develop, the community, and they're on the ice 6 days a week.
Yeah,
that's wrong. Yeah. Like, that's wrong.
I think any sport you gotta have time for the other aspects of life too.
Cal Ripken said he didn't start playing baseball exclusively until he was 18 and signed a pro contract.
Yeah.
By the time you're 16, 17, I want to play football, basketball, whatever, and you channel your energy into that. That's okay. Yeah. But prior to that, prior to your last year of high school, you need to mix it up. Yeah. You're just robbing yourself of a lot of fun. So.
I know. For myself, it was baseball.
Yeah.
All through my childhood, I just loved baseball. I loved having the glove on. I loved catching the ball. I loved running across the field, chasing a ball down.
Right.
I loved everything about it. I loved standing up to bat and swinging the bat, making that contact. I loved everything about it. But not all my friends did.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play with my friends. I had to play soccer.
Yeah.
Right. I had to play football. I had to play tennis. And I enjoyed those sports.
Right.
But you fall in love with something as well too.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So big news. We're not gonna. You want to talk Aaron Donald retiring, and that's perfectly fine with me.
Yep.
But let's go.
Are you dying for it? Just get
Dodgers in Korea.
Let's get it out.
Dodgers in Korea. So there's a serious issue. Shohei Ohtani's interpreter gambling and allegedly stealing money from Shohei.
Yes.
First, let's talk about the performance on the field. They went on all in $700 million on Shohei. They went on how many millions on Yamamoto?
I think it was 300
million?
Yeah.
So
two something.
How was his first time on the mound in South Korea as a Dodger?
He had a rough start. He had a rough start. I mean, he came out in his first preseason game and rocked it. And then he had an up and down performance in his next couple, and then a really bad one. And then they go and they throw him out there on the mound, and he got lit up. Yeah. Now, let me clarify that. Let me clarify that with so did the Padres pitcher, right? So if we go back and we look at the box score for the
Blame
game.
the Padres.
Padres got 5 runs in the first inning. Dodgers got 4, right? So, I mean, like, it's not that it was a 15-11 game. It's not, hey, Yamamoto lost it for us. It was just that he got yanked while the Padres are up 5-4 and the Dodgers end up losing. So he actually gets the loss in that scenario because the Dodgers never got ahead of the Padres, right? So, I mean, it did not go well. The game before that, the Dodgers lit him up and won. Yeah. So, I mean, they're 1-1. It's funny because that 15-11 game, they got 16 runs for, 17 runs against. Yeah. So, like, it was a very even matchup where you're looking at the Padres are expected to be the only contender in that division for the Dodgers title.
Yeah, and they just lost Blake Snell. So
I know. That's
San Francisco.
Yeah. and that really funny because you say one player doesn't make a team, but that just ups San Francisco's stock in contending for that division as well. I think the Dodgers are 500 right now. They're 1-1 because they play the first two. The rest of the season doesn't start till next Thursday. Yeah. Right. Everybody else starts Thursday. The Dodgers and Padres started. They're both 1-1. This will be the last time the Dodgers are 500 or lower. That's all I can
honestly, all kidding aside, I mean, it's a glorified preseason game.
Yes.
You know, they're in Seoul. And interestingly enough, I think part of the issue is that the Korean Baseball Association, and I don't have this lovely woman's name, paraded a beautiful young woman who's an actor out on to throw the first pitch out. And the Dodgers went from being professional baseball players to sailors on shore leave. They're like ogling this girl. I mean, she's cute, sure, but come on. Like, you live in L.A., for God's sakes. Never seen an attractive woman before? Like, focus.
I mean, you sent me the video clip. And right away I'm watching this girl thinking, wow.
She's cute.
That is as close to perfection as
she's cute.
And then she fires a wicked ball. Like, that was a great pitch. And then it pads over to the dugout, and all the guys are up there looking.
Drooling.
You know, the married guys are in the back doing their thing still. Freddie Freeman didn't have any time for that.
Freddie Freeman was not in the back doing his thing, no.
Oh, yeah, you see him, he watches Mike glances, and he
did not glance.
Yeah,
there was not a glance.
Watch the video.
Yeah, I watched it very clearly.
You know, it's the young guys are up there, and they're in a place in Korea where, you know, the whole, how do you say it? They really personify women and their beauty in their anime, right?
I suppose, yeah, you could say that.
A lot of their anime, they really exemplify beauty in women.
It's a little negative body issue things for the young girls, but whatever. I digress. Go.
No, but see, in a lot of the stuff, they make those beautiful women the hero of their stories.
I don't watch anime, so I don't really have
So they personify the strength of women while being beautiful, because the misconception is that a beautiful woman's weak. A beautiful woman is just looking for a man to take care of her. There's a lot of beautiful women in the world who could run the world. So
some of them do.
Yeah.
Here we got an eyelash.
He's crying about this.
Technical breakdown.
He knows we're going to talk about how the Yankees can only beat the Pirates in the preseason. So
the Yankees, you mean
the Jays can only beat the Pirates.
They beat the Red Sox yesterday. So there. Okay. Now we got to go to the more serious side.
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani's interpreter has been accused. I don't know if he's been charged of anything with illegal gambling. Now, it's a cloudy issue.
It's one of the weirdest stories I've ever read.
It really is. So, gambling is not legal in California yet. Here we have, FanDuel and Bets Books or whatever the hell they're called. And we made sports gambling legal, and you can do it online, and you have accounts, and they try to tell you to do it responsibly. But in California, that's not the case yet. And this is where it gets a little bit murky, and I'll let you take over.
Well, it's not that it's illegal. You can't place a bet with a bookie. It has to be a government sanctioned.
Oh, okay.
Program. So they can't do FanDuel down there. They can do all the online programs that are government sanctioned.
Right.
Right. What you can't do is place a bet with the bookies.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a lot of places where you can that you can't in California.
Yeah.
Right. Here's the other thing is when you're in baseball, you can't bet on baseball.
No.
Period.
No.
You can bet on anything else you want.
Yeah.
But you can't bet on baseball.
No.
Right? So what's come to light here just the other day, and it was what I've been able to read and ascertain from it is that this bookie was being investigated by the IRS.
Okay.
Right? And the name Ohtani came up there a lot.
Yes.
So the reporters who are working that story are like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So they go back and talk to the interpreter, who then breaks down and admits that he's got a gambling problem.
Right.
And then he tells this wild story that he went to Ohtani, confessed to Ohtani, and Ohtani's helping him out by paying the money back.
Right.
And that he's going to pay Ohtani back over time.
Yeah.
Right. And so this story comes out, and he talks to ESPN about it. He talks in the clubhouse about it. And Ohtani's sitting there because he doesn't understand English, and they're talking in English about all this. Right. He's sitting there and he's going, listening along, gets in the car, and the interpreter, they took the interpreter away to talk to him.
Right.
Right? Because right away with the gambling thing. So he had another handler come in with him.
Right.
And he's like, so what was going on there?
Yeah.
And they tell him, he's like, that's never happened. He's never told me that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah.
So now his handlers are like, well, where's this money? Because it's gone out of your account to this guy.
Yeah.
Right. And now they're looking into it, and they've turned it over to authorities, but no one's saying what authorities they turned it over to.
Yeah.
And the police are saying, well, sounds like a federal matter to me.
Yeah.
Right. The district attorney of California.
Yeah.
Sounds like a federal matter. The FBI said we haven't talked to them about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, was it the IRS that they're going through, or was it the federal DA?
Yeah.
So it's really kind of cloudy right now. But the one thing that's
the Treasury Board in the United States and the IRS, just on a side, has a police aspect to them.
Yeah.
So there are people in the IRS and the Treasury Board that are licensed with badge and guns and can go in and make arrests.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
So keep going.
So no one's really talking, or no one's really saying what authorities they've turned it over to, right? But the one thing that's coming out that's very apparent is that Ohtani had no idea.
Yeah.
Ohtani, and it's funny because
that's also getting contradicted too, because there's a Jeff Passan with ESPN or Sports Illustrated is like, not what I'm finding out. So keep going.
Well, he knew the guy gambled.
Yeah.
Right. He doesn't.
Yeah.
And here's the funny thing is I was reading an article just this morning, and they were saying that his teammates, coaches, people that have been around him, say he doesn't care about other sports.
Yeah.
He is baseball.
Yeah.
100% of the time, 24/7.
Right.
He doesn't even watch other sports.
Yeah.
So they can't see him betting on it.
Yeah.
But there was a teammate with the Angels. I do believe the last name was Fullerton, that took the interpreter to a poker game.
Okay.
Right? Because the interpreter likes to play cards. He likes to gamble, whatnot. Tawny's no interest in it. Everybody's saying no interest. So this teammate took the interpreter to a poker game. This is where he met this guy Bowers.
Right.
And then he started putting bets on credit, and it started totaling up, and now he's 4.5 million in the debt.
Oh yeah.
You know, and the money's come from somewhere, and it's out of Ohtani's account. The interpreter's got access to the account, so they're saying
Weird.
So,
Which is weird.
but see, here's the transfers all said in the memo section loan. So I don't know, maybe if the interpreter convinced him that that he had a loan he had to pay off,
Right.
and didn't talk to him about the gambling
Yeah.
debts. So there's really a lot of don't know yet,
Yeah.
right? But what they do know, or what everybody's saying, is Ohtani it has nothing to do with the gambling. And even if it was, none of the bets were on baseball.
Right.
And that's the thing, is they could bet all they want on anything else.
Yeah.
You can't bet on baseball.
Yeah. And there's a couple of things you have to realize. And of course, and a lot of memes and a lot of people are comparing this to Pete Rose.
No.
Now, Pete Rose is a Hall of Fame, should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Most hits in over 4,000 hits in a career.
Yeah.
And he was managing the Reds, and he turns out he was betting on baseball. When that happened, baseball had an actual commissioner that actually did his job, that wasn't a complete moron. Major League Baseball front office is brutal. Like, the owners wanted a yes man. They got rid of it was either Bartlett Giamatti or Fay Vincent. I can't remember who they fired, then brought in the used car salesman, and they got his lapdog to take over for him. They're brutal. So Fay Vincent was the guy who got fired because he suspended George Steinbrenner, because Steinbrenner at the time was completely out of control, and then banned Pete Rose for life from baseball. He did his job. He understood this was not good. This is bad for the game. Long-term, implications. You cannot allow this to happen, and nobody was above the law. And this is what happened, right? Jump ahead to today. It's Rob Manfred, I think his name is.
Yeah, Manfred.
They're just like, if you ever see the Netflix documentary on the Balco steroid scandal and how poorly Major League Baseball handled it, it was just unreal how bad it was. Like, and their problem is right now they're beholden to the owners. And the owners need Shoheis of the world on the field playing to get the people in the seats so they can make money. This is the way life works.
Yeah.
So they don't want Shohei not playing because that's not good for them on their bottom line, trying to keep the game alive, right?
Yeah.
It's bad for the game. And you look at the steroid scandal with, A-Rod and Manny Ramirez and all that, Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire. And no one really did anything about it because it was, in the short term, it was good for the game. That Homer Derby saved baseball.
Yeah.
Between
100%. Yeah.
Mark McGwire and
Barry Bonds.
And the Chicago Cubs.
Oh, Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa. It saved baseball. Baseball was dying at the time, and this came along.
Yep.
And everything opened up. And then, of course, steroids came around, and Major League Baseball, like, there was all sorts of sniffs about the andro. People looking at, like, shoe size from a size 9 to a size 13, like, it was bad.
Yeah.
But no one did anything because people are coming out and they're watching. They wanted to see Barry Bonds get 75 home runs and, Sosa McGwire compete for 65 or whatever it was.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that at first, it was, you can't use performance, at first there was nothing. Mm-hmm. And then they realized that, these performance-enhancing drugs were giving the ones that were willing to sacrifice their body, their life, everything, this extra edge.
Right.
So they said you can't use performance-enhancing drugs.
Right.
But they had already done it.
Yeah.
There
was nothing in CBA saying people can use steroids.
They had already done it, and they were still in their prime. So even if they stopped doing it now, the effects of it were going to carry on. Yeah. Right. So I mean, I don't know a lot about steroids, but what I know is that if you do a couple of cycles and you work out, you don't lose that muscle when you stop taking the steroids because you keep working out. So you keep building that muscle. It gives you that little pop-ups. Right? Yeah. Obviously neither of us have taken steroids. So.
No, I have an inhaler. So it's not true. I would fail to take a steroid test.
Don't let this fool you. I'm actually on steroids. I take medication for my psoriatic arthritis.
Oh, okay.
That's basically a steroid.
Right? So there's a role for steroids in the world.
So don't let this fool you. I'm on steroids.
We never gotten off topic.
But so they get that bump. They get that bump. It stays. It sticks. They're able to keep building on it.
Right.
So they've taken that unfair advantage. Then it started looking like people were willing to take the short suspension if they got caught.
Yeah.
So they kept doing it.
Yeah.
So you had at first it was the Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire,
Sammy Sosa.
I can't remember the
Manny
first base.
Manny
Ramirez.
not Craig Biggio. He was with the Astros.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, these guys.
Caminiti.
Yeah. Caminiti. These guys got massive. Usually he's just wolf, right?
They destroyed Caminiti. Died prematurely.
Yeah, exactly.
He destroyed himself.
So these guys all got just monstrous, really fast. And you look at it. Kaseko is another one, right? And the younger guys who came in just did little bits, and didn't get big. Sammy Sosa never got huge, right? But he did little bits, to get him over, type thing. Manny Ramirez was another one. He did, and they get caught. They get a 50-game suspension.
Manny Ramirez did a lot. He was not,
but he only got caught the one time. Because if you get that 50-game suspension, right? You sit out 50 games. That's a third of a year.
But
and then, but you have the benefit of that forevermore.
Yeah.
So it started being worth it.
Yeah.
You're right. So they still haven't fixed the
Their
problem.
contract here. Yeah.
Exactly. So they still haven't fixed the problem because you get that 50-game suspension. Oh, well, you sit out for 50 days, we'll give you 50 games, and then you got the benefit of it. Or you don't get caught.
Yeah.
And the ability to catch it runs out of your system, and you've got that bump. Yeah. So they haven't really fixed the problem, but what they have is they pointed the fingers at Bonds, Kaseko, McGuire, and said, you guys aren't eligible for the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens, the pitcher, another one, right?
Yeah.
You're not eligible for the Hall of Fame because you did these steroids. But when you look at it, there's people going to get into the Hall of Fame that they never caught.
Yeah.
Who did it too to get that bump. And it became something a lot of people were doing. Yeah. Right? But then you get the real clean nose ones.
Yeah. Frank Thomas.
Yeah. Frank's mad.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Yeah. So back to Korea for a second. I want to
Shohei.
I was going to share a video with you, and I should have, right? Not Shohei, but when you're talking about the young lady throwing the ball out, right? The first game, Oral Hershiser was supposed to throw out the first ball. Okay. And Singapore Air, I think it's Singapore Air?
Cathay Pacific?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of these stewardesses lined up behind the mound, and Oral Hershiser, Dodger legend, right, was going to throw the first pitch. Bulldog. And one of the stewardesses walked up, and she's like, taps him. She's like, give me the ball. And he's like, no. And she's like,
I've seen this. Yeah.
And so he gives her the ball. She gets up there, full stewardess uniform.
Yeah, heels,
dress, the whole 9 yards, and threw a curveball that moved off the plate. It was beautiful.
I know.
And even Hershiser hugged her. So you're like, this is wild.
Yeah.
Look it up. Oral Hershiser.
Yeah.
Korea. Stewardess throws first pitch. It is one of the funniest videos that I see because she was like, "No, give me the ball." Yeah, right.
So it's interesting. Okay. So Shohei, this story's not going away anytime soon.
No, but I think it's much ado about nothing.
I'm hearing here's the thing. When something like this breaks early, there's a lot of questions, and there's very little in terms of concrete answers.
Yeah.
So this is going to be big for a while. Major League Baseball, I mean, the cat's out of the bag. So if the Treasury Secretary or whatever the hell that is, Treasury Board or IRS start investigating, it's out of Major League Baseball's hands, and there's really nothing they can do. Yeah. You can't call up the government and say to make this go away because that's against the law. So,
but unless I'm completely wrong, right? The Major League Baseball is not doing nothing unless they find betting on baseball.
Yeah.
Because they have no...
There's really nothing they can do. Yeah.
They fired the interpreter.
Yeah.
Because he's now been accused of stealing.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing is going to come down to, was Shohei helping him pay off the debt or was he stealing? That's going to be the only drama that you see because other than that, they've done nothing wrong.
No, that's right.
You know, if they were placing bets with the bookie, the state of California could get involved.
Right.
Because you're not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah.
Right? The bookie's going to go to jail for tax evasion, fraud, whatever, right?
Right.
And
or get charged.
Or get charged anyways. Yeah. But I can't see at any aspect where this falls negatively onto Shohei.
Yeah.
So
it's like I said, it's early days. It's early days.
I reserve the right to be wrong.
Yeah.
If new evidence comes out.
Oh, of course.
But everything that you see right now, it's like, Buddy was just, maybe he helped a friend, maybe the friend stole from him. That's going to be the big question.
And then, of course, the only reason we're talking about this is the $700 million contract. Any other player...
No, the reason we're talking about this is because you like to dig me with the Dodgers. Something happens bad with the Dodgers. Let's be honest.
No, this is a big story. This is a big story.
Yeah,
and if it's any other player, if it's Freddie Freeman, and they're going to suspend Freddie Freeman, or if it's, Bo Bichette, no one's really going to be talking about it that much. But because it's Shohei, it's just like their hand grenade in the press pool. And having been a former news reporter, something like this breaks. Okay, how do we handle it? And you sit down on the whiteboard and you look at, here's the story, what are the sidebars, who's looking at what, how are we dealing with this? Because there's really, other than March Madness, there's not a lot of sports going on right now.
No.
And March Madness, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, who won, who lost, who got upset, until they get to the round of the Sweet 16. And not that many people are really getting too excited about it.
Yeah.
So this is a lot to do with news cycle and that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go to football now, NFL.
Yep.
I want to go give you the benefit of Aaron Donald retiring. Now, I didn't know who the guy was. I don't watch a lot of Rams football.
Yeah.
You, of course, and I've got some stats I want to bring up, but I'm going to give you the stage right now.
Aaron Donald is a monster. He is just this huge man that played at such a high speed that it just. Yeah, he did everything on the defense. He was phenomenal. He was a blast to watch. He played for 10 years. He got defensive MVP 3 times, 8 or 9 times All-Star, Pro Bowl invite, and then first team All-Star 7 or 8 times. He was great, and he was at the prime of his career.
Yeah.
But they won the Super Bowl, and he was thinking about retiring after that. He goes, but the urge, the desire was still there.
Yeah.
The end of this season, he said, we're gearing up, and it's OTAs and training camp and the 17 games. He goes, I just didn't have the urge to do it.
And he's probably playing through a lot of pain too.
You bang yourself up playing football, just as a kid, let alone if you're going to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? It's on to the next aspect of my life.
Yeah.
What that's going to be, no one really knows. But the guy was unbelievable.
Yeah. Let's get some stats here. In the last 5 years, the NFL average pass win rate against a single pass blocker was 17% for a qualified rusher. Okay, so just worry about 17%. That's the number you want to worry about. Aaron Donald posted an 18% win rate against double teams in that span. That made him statistically better against 2 pass blockers on the average pass against 1. So he took 2 people to block this guy, and he still did better than average. Like, that is just crazy numbers.
He did better than most guys do against 1
guy.
It's
crazy
against
numbers.
2 guys.
Crazy numbers. All right.
And you couldn't single cover Aaron Donald.
No.
You had to have 2 guys on him.
Yeah.
Or he was beating you and you were sacking your quarterback.
Yeah.
But the one team that never gave up a sack?
Philadelphia.
Yeah. And where does he come? He's a tackle, so he's up the middle. Jason Kelce blocked Aaron Donald every play that they played. Every play, never gave up a sack.
I hope they go to the Hall of Fame together holding hands, because that is just crazy, man.
Well, and that's where you see, 2 of the best step down at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's really the changing of an era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, and it's good for Philly fans, because
they were all like, oh no, do we play LA this year? Yeah.
Okay.
But I watched Hard Knocks a couple of years back, and it's a football show, a football documentary about preseason and whatnot.
Sure.
And it was the year that the Chargers and the Rams had to share a training facility.
Okay.
Right? And
just came up from San Diego, I guess.
they were in LA already. It's first year they're in LA.
Yeah, they were in San Diego. They came to LA and they needed their own training thing.
Yeah, and it was a COVID year.
Yeah.
Right? So everything had to be done outside. The classrooms were outside.
Yeah.
Everything had to be done outside, right? And they had porta potties there. And so at the beginning of the show, at the end of the show, they'd have like candid clips.
Yeah.
Right? And so they got Sean McVay, the coach of the Rams, going off. And all you see is Aaron Donald and two other of the linemen stretching, right? And Aaron Donald's going off about the porta potties, are for number one. If you have to go to number two, go into the bathroom inside and flush. Don't do it in the porta potty because we don't want it to stink.
Yeah.
And Aaron Donald is laughing with his buddies, and they're giving the Hard Knocks camera guy who's filming him. He's like, "You dropping a douche? You're pissing off Coach." Right? He was one of the funniest guys in that series of Hard Knocks that I've ever seen in my life.
Right, you need that guy in the locker room. Okay. Yeah. So now the next big thing in football, of course, are the Pittsburgh Steelers, who now have a pretty prominent 1-2 punch at quarterback, or as I like to call it, why the Bears will always suck. Now, let's talk about Pittsburgh first. Yeah. They got Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And they turned around and they got Justin Fields.
Yes.
Now, what are you looking at?
I'm bringing up sports stuff.
Bringing up sports stuff. I got a nice commercial there. Okay, so Justin Fields, like, what's going on here? I mean, what's going on?
You say the Bears suck, and really, this is one situation where the Bears don't suck, because they went to Fields and say, "Where do you want to go?"
Okay,
and he said Pittsburgh.
Okay, even
after Russell Wilson was there, he said, "I think my skill set will fit the best in Pittsburgh."
Okay,
right, and so they negotiated a trade. They took a lot less that they could have gotten for him from another team to honor his wishes. Right? Why does he want to go to Pittsburgh with Russell Wilson there? Well, here's the thing. Russell Wilson's an older guy. He's only got a year or two left on his contract.
Yeah.
Right? Fields is a young guy. He's got lots of time left.
25.
Lots of time left to play. And if history tells us anything over the last 2 years, Russell Wilson will implode at some point this season.
Yeah.
He may come out strong. He's going to implode at some point. And Fields is going to be there to pick up the slack. And it is a very ideal situation for Fields in Pittsburgh. With the running game that they have, the receiving crew that they have, the tight end that they have, the O-line that they have, the defense that gets off the field quickly and gives them lots of snaps. It is the ideal situation. I can also see Justin Fields coming in and playing in non-quarterback situations.
Okay.
Because his running ability, but also his throwing ability.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine him coming out of the slot in a motion sweep, getting a handoff from Russell Wilson,
right?
Play run option read, right? And then sweeping out to the side and bombing it down the field 70 yards.
Yeah.
Come on, like these are two guys that are Swiss Army knives when it comes to football.
Right.
Either can run, either can throw. They both can catch.
Yeah.
This is a very, very good situation that could make Pittsburgh a very fun team to watch this year.
Yeah. And they do have a great thing about Pittsburgh. They have great coaching.
Great coaching.
Like Joe Tomlin, it's great coaching.
Yeah.
But my point is, I mean, they moved Justin Fields. Okay, you wanted to go. And now all of a sudden they go out and they get the kind of supports that he never had when he played there.
Yeah.
They took Justin Fields as a kid when he really wasn't ready to be a starter. Oh, okay, you're the starter.
Yeah.
And they didn't give him a team to work with.
Yeah.
And now he leaves and they're going to go with Caleb Williams, probably, more than likely. And now they got a bunch of wide receivers. And so I was like, come on, man.
When you get a GM and a head coach, and they get Everfulis as the head coach and Ryan Poole as the GM, you pretty much have a 3-year window to show success.
Yeah.
Right? What these two are doing is hitting reset on their 3-year timer.
Yeah.
Right? Because they didn't draft Fields. Fields was there when they came.
Yeah.
Right? And that
he's not their guy.
They wouldn't have picked him. They wouldn't have built it around them.
No.
What they've done in building what they are building doesn't really equate to the Fields.
Right. Skill set.
Yeah. So not that they didn't like Fields. Fields showed a lot of promise towards the end of the year. Actually, all of last year, a lot of promise. And they, you could look at pieces and whatnot. But then you get this opportunity that you've got DJ Moore, right? You got Khalil Herbert running the ball. They just brought in DeAndre Swift,
right?
They got Keenan Allen for the Chargers over there. Gerald Everett, another tight end, when they've already got a decent tight end.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're bringing these pieces together and they're like, but the Fields is still that, triangle peg that we're trying to get in the round hole here.
Yeah.
So what do we want to do? Let's draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, Williams. I'm not 100% sold it's going to be Williams.
It's a lot of drama. I mean, the guy's his skill is great.
Yeah.
But there's just too much drama around this guy. The crazy stuff that he says, Yeah.
But I mean, the way they're building it, feeds to Drake May's skill set, who's a pocket passer.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, well, J.J. McCarthy's more of a runner.
Okay.
Yeah, they're building what they're building there. 2 tight ends, 2 wideouts, a good middle runner, right? Kind of screams more of a pocket passer than a runner, and Fields was a runner.
Right.
So do they go Drake May, who's really the better NFL caliber quarterback right now?
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, another one.
Yeah.
Those 2 are right there. So do they say to New England, hey, you want Caleb Williams? You want to jump ahead of Washington, get whatever you want?
Yeah.
What are you offering me?
Right.
You know?
There's a lot of leverage.
And Minnesota's another one that they could work with, right? And move down. But they want one of those top 3. And the quarterbacks are going to go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be Williams, Daniels, May.
Yeah.
Are going to be your first 3 picks. So what order? I'm not Nostradamus. I'm not going to figure that one out.
Right.
But those are going to be your first 3. And in honesty, Chicago could be like, screw it. We're not taking Williams. We're going to take May or Daniels because we like them. McCarthy's a runner. Penix is a runner.
Yeah.
Right?
They can throw. They have the throwing. Yeah.
Yeah. What has happened is there's been a very, very big shift in quarterbacks to a quarterback can throw but runs.
Yeah.
Right? The pocket passers, the Peyton Mannings, Tom Brady's are very few and far between. The college level, they're going to start figuring out how to defend these runners, these running quarterbacks. And then they're going to go back to pocket passing. Yeah. And you're going to see an influx of them.
Yeah.
So,
I hear you.
Yeah.
There's one school of thought is that they should trade the pick, flip the pick with somebody, take Marvin Harrison Jr., the wide receiver out of Ohio, and then go for a J.J. McCarthy further down.
Yeah.
And he can pass. He's more of a runner, but he can pass. Yeah. And now you've come out of the draft with a really good 1-2 punch. Yeah. And you've got a weapon, right? I mean, it's just, it's you know.
Yeah. But
what are the Ashes saying?
Yeah. Here's the thing: is Marvin Harrison isn't going to be available past 4. Arizona's going to take Marvin Harrison. Yeah. They're not trading out of that spot. They're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah. So the first 3 picks, if they trade out, it's going to be for someone that wants a quarterback. Yeah. They're not going to trade. Arizona doesn't need a quarterback. They got
Where's Arizona pick?
4.
So but they go New England, they got 3.
Right, but they're not going to. They'll take if they take Marvin Harrison there. Yeah, they could. They could. Yeah. So I think you'll see a lot of dominoes fall if they went to 3 and took Marvin Harrison Jr. and got extra picks out of it. Yeah. But they've only got 3 picks in the draft, 4 picks in the draft. The Bears. Yeah. They've traded a lot of them away. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. They've traded a lot of picks. That they only got 3 or 4 picks, so they got to make those 3 or 4 count. Yeah. Or they need to get more.
Yeah. I mean, you could flip your pick with, say, New England, get their first pick next year. Yeah. There's things you can do, right? Yeah. So, but I mean, I just don't. I mean, the Bears. I mean, they've. There's a reason they haven't won it since 1985. Yeah. And they just do stuff, and it's like, come on, guys, like. You know,
I can't say that they haven't won it since 1985. You know what? We've never won it. Yeah. And there's a lot of teams that haven't. Yeah. There's a lot of teams that have never been there. Yeah. So if a team has won it, they've had success in their history. Great, perfect.
Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Chargers.
Yeah. The Lions. Yeah.
Lions. I predict. Here's the.
That crushed me this year. I so wanted them in there.
You know what? And here's the problem in the NFL right now. You have to get through KC. And it's just like, oh, yeah, let's do at least play. There's KC. Oh.
But see, Lions are the NFC, KC's in the AFC. Yeah. It's the 49ers on the NFC side right now. Right. It looked like Philadelphia is going to upset the 49ers side of it. But 49ers would have trashed Philadelphia that year if they hadn't lost their quarterbacks, all 3 of them. Right. Right? So... I think the 49ers on the NFC side and KC for years to come are going to be that barrier that you've got to get past.
Right. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is only 28 years old. Yeah. Travis Kelce's a little bit older, and he's not going to play too many more seasons. But you know what? There are tight ends out there that you can grab. It won't be as good as he, but they'll certainly get the job done, right? Yeah. So, okay.
Well, they made some very good signings in the wide receiver role this year. Yeah. I'm sick of balls being dropped. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they mix things up. Okay, so where are we on our list today? Spring training. What else do we want to talk about? The Jays beat the Pirates and the Red Sox. They picked up Joey Votto. Yeah. That is, you look at, say, they try to get Shohei Cody Bellinger, somebody else, and the trajectory for the Jays in terms of offseason signings went steadily down. So I don't know if Joey Votto's going to get out of the minor leagues. He might platoon a bit and get a few at bats, and they moved one of their infielders, Santiago Espinal, for somebody at minor league pitcher, and just the Jays, they're going to finish fourth. Whatever.
The spring breakout results were quite interesting.
Okay.
You saw some really good teams. Baltimore surprisingly lost to the Pirates.
Remember, it's just preseason. So
and these are prospects too, right?
Yeah.
But Baltimore's got the best prospect pool. And today they announced.
I love him, man.
Today they announced Halladay is going down the minors. He's not. They don't think he's ready, and he's the number one prospect.
He's good.
He's really good.
He ran out at infield single.
Yeah.
He should have been Bo Bichette gets the ball at second, throws it to first. It should have been a routine out. He beat the throw. That guy is phenomenal, man. And I'm going to tell you this: Baltimore, they have sucked for a long time, and they've made some draft picks. And God love them. And those draft picks, they have turned into gold. It is rare to have that kind of success. The 90s Yankees with Jeter, Jorge Posada, Manny Rivera, Bernie Nichols? No. Broadway Bernie.
With who? The Yankees?
Yeah, their center fielder.
Oh, no, you got me.
I keep wanting to say Bernie Nichols, and I know that's not Bernie Williams.
Williams, yeah.
You know, Scott Proch is a third. They drafted and developed some crazy players, and that was a dynasty team. Keep your eyes open on Baltimore, man.
Yeah,
these guys, they learn how to win.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a big deal.
Yeah, so
very big deal.
Holiday's only 20. He's the son of former 7-time All-Star Matt Holliday.
Yeah,
who is just a phenomenal player.
Right.
And he's regarded as the best prospect. But he's just not there yet. He's only 20 years old. So
kid.
Yeah. So I think
drink legally for God's sake.
So I think that was kind of interesting that he's going down there. But all in all, the spring breakout, they had to postpone 3 of the games due to rain. And that's unfortunate because you want to see these kids get the opportunity to showcase themselves.
But it's hard to see them though. I mean, you had to go pay-per-view or something.
You had to go Major League Baseball.
It's so stupid. Come on, man. You want to show these guys off. Put it on your main channels.
Yeah, throw it on TSN.
Yeah, or even Sportsnet.
Yeah, something out there.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers did well. They beat the Angels 8-1, which we kind of expected. I mean, the Angels prospect pool isn't huge.
No.
Yeah, but the Dodgers has got the top.
That's always good.
Yeah. The Yankees trashed their competition 9-1.
Of course they did.
Yeah. So the team that we won't say because we don't want to make Tim cry. Yeah, so it was some really good baseball. Tampa Bay and the Minnesota Twins tied 8-8.
It's crazy.
8-8. So that would have been a fun game to watch.
That would have been a great game to watch.
So I love watching these young guys play because it's not that they're fighting for a position, but they're seeing where they stand and showcasing themselves. So you know that they're going to come out there hungry. They're going to come out there and
the nice thing about baseball, it is a team sport, but it's an individual sport within a team sport. So like the baseball all-star game used to be fantastic, right? Because you can showcase individual talents the way the game's structured.
Yeah.
So to watch, football breakout prospect, college.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same, but baseball, because of the way the game is, it's actually, you can actually like really see like, wow, this guy's good.
Yeah.
That was an incredible throw. What a hit. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
how are we looking for time? What time do we go up at?
We still have about 15, 20 minutes. We're doing good.
15, 20 minutes. We're doing good.
So we talked so much last week, and we went off topic so many times last week. We actually ran out. The video filled up. So we got maybe a bit more time conscious this week. So what do we got? Crazy goaltender performances.
Crazy goaltender performances. And I want to get some feedback. I've got some feedback when I posted our thing. So don't let me forget.
Okay.
I'm going to write this down so I don't forget. Give me a second. Feedback. So crazy goaltending performances. So I grew up in Montreal, and around 1983, I'm babysitting at a neighbor's house.
Yep.
And of course, then we had both the Montreal Canadiens and the Quebec Nordiques. And you could watch Nordique games on the local channel. They put it out when Montreal wasn't playing. So I turn it on, and it's Wayne Gretzky and company with the Edmonton Oilers, 1983. This is in their prime. They're going up against the Quebec Nordiques. I'll never forget this game. I put the little kids to bed, whatever the names was, and I got time. I'm sitting there in a minute, so I turn it on. The dad comes home. He's like, "Oh yeah, okay, Nordiques." I'm like, "Hey man, this game is a little bit crazy." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "There's like 20 shots on net, and Edmonton hasn't scored yet." It's like, "What?" And we watched that game. Mario Gosselin with the Quebec Nordiques, where there was kind of an okay team going up against the Edmonton Oilers in their prime, like Coffey, Gretzky, Messier, Curry, everybody. A 55 save performance. He stopped 55 shots for a 3-0 Nordiques game.
Nice.
Win. That was crazy. I never thought I'd see anything like it, right? Like, it was just nuts. So let's jump ahead to 2014. We're in Sochi, Russia. We're going into the quarterfinal game. It's Latvia taking on Team Canada.
Right.
Nobody thought this game was going to be a wash.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Team Canada, to its credit, going into Sochi, Team Canada and Team USA never did well on European ice.
No.
It's a much bigger ice surface. It's a very different defensive system. It's much more attuned to soccer with a midfield, where you're basically just puck control, not the sort of end-to-end blocking shots thing. So it's a very different. So Team Canada finally figured it out, and they started training to defend on the bigger ice. And you need the forwards got to defend, like everybody. It's a really complicated, right? So they go up against Latvia, and early in the game, something was up because Team Canada is coming at this guy like nobody's business. Krister Gudlevskis is in net, and it's kind of like an Andy Who. Like, who the hell is this guy? Over 70 shots pumped at this guy. They literally had to call timeouts, the trainers to get out there to ice this guy down, to hydrate him. I'm not making this up. He was like, he took his helmet off, and like they're like icing down his neck. The vapors coming off his head, you could see it. 70 plus shots. Team Canada wins that game 1-0. Like, they could have lost that game on a lucky bounce, man. Like, it was just crazy. And Gary Price, after the game, just said, how does it feel to win a game like? He's like, what are you talking about? Build a statue of this guy, man. That was the gutsiest goalie performance I've ever seen in my life. He stood on his head.
Wow.
And it wasn't like there were crappy bad angle shots going at him. Like, we're talking Team Canada, everybody just going everything, and he's just blocking everything. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And the Latvian goal defense was shit. Like, they weren't that good. He stopped everything, and they finally won that game 1-0. Took that poor bastard out on a wheelchair and put him in the ice bath. Like, oh my God.
Well, so then we go to this game that just happened not too long ago here.
Yeah. Tier 2, the Tier 2 league in Russia.
Yeah.
St. Petersburg.
March 16th.
March 16th.
Yeah.
Artemi Plashenkov.
Plashenkov made, wait for it, 124 saves.
And a quintuple overtime game.
Quintuple overtime. 1-0 loss.
Oh, that is so. How do you make that many saves?
And lose.
I mean, it's just.
Okay, so Latvia, I guess now they lost 1-0 as well, right?
Against against a really good team, right?
Yeah. So in doing so, Plashenkov broke the professional hockey world record for saves in a game. During the 2020 NHL bubble playoffs, Jonas Korpisalo had an 85 save game. Yeah. And goaltender Alexander Borodulia made 107 saves in a Belarusian Australia game. This guy smashed the pro record.
That is insane.
Smashed it.
Like, do you take him out and just like put him to sleep and then, get a mold of his body to build a statue? Or like, what do you do after that? Like, can he even walk? Like, that's insane.
And I tried to find it and I haven't been able to. But I want to know how many the other guy made. Yeah. Because you got to think 124 saves, so 125 shots. Yeah. That puck must have been in their zone.
The entire game.
The whole game. Yeah. So, I mean, I would like to, that's a question that you want to know is like,
where did that go?
124 out of 125 shots.
That is insane. Okay, so we've gone live with our thingy. And part of
we released it on the internet.
We released it on the internet. So the way it worked, of course, I don't know technology crap. I don't understand this. We get a message from Wayne. Hey, here it is. Take a look at the podcast. Tell me what you think. I'm thinking it's live on YouTube.
Yeah.
but it's not. So I tagged everybody and I send it to amongst some people, my dad, and let me find Charles Amy here, and we'll get some feedback. Here we go. First episode. Let me find it. Okay, I gotta find. Jeez. Come on, Dad. Where are you? Because it's actually kind of funny. Here we go. Hey, started watching your podcast on Facebook, but I had to leave it, lost it. I liked it. How do I find it on Facebook? Happy St. Patrick's Day. Pat Burns is coming over for corned beef and cabbage lunch. That's my dad. And there's another one from my dad about, I can't find it anymore. I got to make the mashed potatoes. I'll see you later. And then my favorite one, Kelly Hewitt, who I used to work with.
Yeah. I
send out the link and I tag a bunch of people. And she comes back, hey, Tim, looks like you've been spammed or hacked. No, that's my new podcast. Oh, great. I'll have to check it out. So it is up now. It is up now.
Yeah. So and I gotta share it out on Facebook. Like you just hit the share button, they go to everybody, and I'll tag you in, and I'll tag Mark and whatnot. I went home last weekend afterwards. Got the first episode. So I'm sitting in my shop and I hit play, right? I'm watching it, listening to it and whatnot. And my wife comes out into the garage because the kitchen's right next to the garage in our new house. And she's like, are you talking to yourself? I'm like, no, I'm watching the podcast. And she looks at it, she goes, I listen to you enough. And walks back in the house. So,
ooh, Taylor Swift.
So
the other football player.
We know we don't have one fan.
Oh, so we're going to get it up there. We'll tag some people and you can watch it.
Yeah.
We've added to our decor, in case you didn't notice, 1993 World Series MVP Pat Borders.
Yeah.
My NHL hockey puck autographed by no less than Henri Richard and Eddie Shack.
Nice.
Eddie Shack and Cordy Howe. And of course, David Allen.
Who actually we've had out here in Chilliwack coaching with Border Bulls.
Yep.
Yeah. And nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Yeah. Hell of a career.
We'll talk about it. Tell kids his story and the work that he had to put in and how he got there. Gives to the kids all the time. He's a really good guy.
And most quarterbacks in this world are well over 6 feet, well over 200 pounds. 6'1", about 170 his whole career.
Yeah.
He was not a big guy.
No.
Not a big guy. And he's the Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He broke a lot of passing records in the CFL.
Wow, he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah. I mean, 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years. And not that big, and he survived all those years.
Yeah.
Grey Cup champion. Gotta love him. Damon Allen. And, of course, when you're a Montreal hockey fan, Labatt 50. The joke in Montreal, how do you order a beer? The 5 ans.
Okay, that's nice, but could you have washed it?
Shut up! I'm not. This is vintage here.
Yeah.
I don't want. Did you go and wash the Eiffel Tower? No.
Actually, pretty sure they cleaned that up. Little off here and there.
Okay.
Right on. What else we got?
I think that's about it.
I'm on holidays next week, so we're not doing a show next week.
That's right. Well, it is a long weekend.
It is a long weekend. Happy Easter.
Canada West, Rumble in the Rockies.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to talk about that a bit more because I got some more details here. Let me log back in. And so the Rumble in the Rockies starts Tuesday, March 26, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Team check-in and opening ceremonies, and then 2 kickoff feature games.
Nice.
Wednesday is a full day of gameplay, 8 hours. So, and the next gameplay schedule will be released late in the evening. So after they see who does what. Thursday's a compete day. Cash scholarship awards for individual winners. It's kind of an easy day because if they're playing the first Tuesday, Wednesday, they give them Thursday to kind of chill out.
Right.
Friday will be upper bracket and lower bracket gameplay. Nice 9-hour day of football. And then the final day on Saturday, March 30th, championship games take place. Final award ceremony. 15 hours of football. So, turn into this CanadaWest.tv.
Yeah. And young kids looking for a scholarship, they're hungry.
Yeah, and the big thing here is the more we view it, the more other people are going to view it.
Yeah.
So if you're a football fan, for a youth sports fan, throw it on in the background.
Yeah.
I know at work I'm just gonna click it on.
Sure.
And have it there, and I'll be listening to it while I'm doing what I'm doing, and maybe watch some of the games or some of I'm really interested in the compete day on Thursday. Right. Cash scholarships being awarded for individual winners. That's very interesting. But things like this need to get an audience in front of it.
They do,
because they get views here that moves it up in the list of things that people can see.
Yeah.
And then it gets views other places, and it really helps these programs build a platform for these kids.
Yeah. And if your kid plays football and he wants to go off, I mean, I know 3 kids off the top of my head: Vinny Braunauer, Tyler Bergen, and now
Luke
Fever are all at the University of Alberta. Yeah. So you know what? These are future teammates that are local kids, and if you're going to go watch Alberta Golden Bears football, some of these guys you're going to see them playing with and against. So it's nice to get some background to learn some names.
Yeah.
When you start watching U Sport, oh yeah, I know that kid. He was in that Rumble in the Rockies. God, he's great. Well, so yeah,
the effort level at this age too, is unbelievable with these kids. I mean, they go out there. You're not watching Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce,
but it's still good.
The effort level is good, and you see these kids that do phenomenal things. I mean, I would have loved to see Chase run through one of these programs, right?
Totally.
He would have destroyed it.
Well, we had the pleasure in the Border Bowls. We got to see Tyson and I never remember his brother. Jalen. Philpott playing some of those 14-year-olds, killing it.
Yeah, they're on my team.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Superb.
They're crazy. They were mad at me because with the Border Bowl, you kind of offense or defense, right?
Right.
You play one or the other. They're like, why do I have to come off the field, coach? Why do I have to come off the field?
Because it's sharing.
Yeah. So, I mean, these opportunities for these kids, got to get some eyes on them.
Yeah.
And give them props too. Yeah. Tell them, when you see them do something good in the message boards or whatever, give them some props, because it'll really help boost their confidence to get to the next level.
Right.
Other things going on before we get back will probably be flag football.
Yeah.
It's going to be in full swing. I don't think the games start till the middle of April.
I don't know.
But practices will be going full swing.
Yeah.
Another, if you want to get your son or daughter into football, if they're interested, start with flag. Get to your local community club. Start with flag. The NFL flag football is back running up here in BC. So take a look at that. You can just Google it, NFL flag football, Canada. Great coaching, good camps. Get them started. And that's where you really want to start, to see if they like the sport without having to worry about being crushed by a guy 3 times their size.
Yeah. And if I can find this email from Crew, who runs traditional Muay Thai in town, there is a family day coming up. God, I may have deleted it. And I think it's the 27th and 28th. Traditional Muay Thai on Yale Road West across from Connor. It's a little bit of an open house. They let the parents come in and watch the kids train and learn a bit about Muay Thai. It's, honest to God, it's really fun. It's great for the kids. It builds a lot of confidence. And when you're little, you're not fighting, right? Yeah. So you're just training and learning the skill set and the fitness level. And they do a wonderful job in terms of sense of community at traditional Muay Thai. And it's a kind of sport that you can play football to get good at Muay Thai, or play Muay Thai to get good at football or baseball or whatever. It's really good. So my son trains. My son coaches there. So, shameless plug, but
yeah,
I love it.
Hey, shameless plugs are awesome. I mean, especially for something that you're invested in. I think it's great that he's training and he's continuing on being athletic, being invested in something, learning. You got to live, love, and laugh, learn.
There you go. Every day. And a shout out to my daughter, who's in New York City right now with school.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, she's having fun
there. School
trip. So she's got Broadway shows, got a Broadway workshop backstage. They went up I always want to say the Eiffel Tower, the Empire State Building, and saw the skyline at night.
Oh,
and the Empire State Building. She's just loving it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. There you go.
All right, so I think we got everything we wanted to talk about today. I'm on holidays next week, long weekend,
and we do have probably a comment section on VBN.
Probably.
So if there's a topic you want to talk about, let us know.
Yeah,
we're in. Okay.
Yep. Definitely. And then once again, And we're going to hit this up once again. If you want to send us an email on a topic, on an event that's happening, something you want us to watch and cover and look at, we're going to go, our email address is otwithtimandmatt@outlook.com. It's right down there. Mark's going to put it down underneath my hands for me. So otwithtimandmatt@outlook.com.
Go Chrome.
Good. No crow.
No Chrome.
No crow.
All right. Have a great Easter, everybody.
Take care.